This is not good. Less than 2 years ago, I was on that road. Didn't look anything like that unless it snowed. When it snowed, it looked like that.
What are they doing?
People leaving Kiev.
No pressure on Robin there, doing his spray test in less than ideal conditions. It's a bit windy. Bloody water on. Free range cow, anyone? Look happy. Have a look at Anthony's mug spreader that's up here as well. It's a beast. Interrogator. The tyres on that. Where Rob takes the front of the car off with the boob. So we're at One Ash Training. To the side. Used to be the Valtra dealership up the road, and Rob has just passed his. So let's go in here quickly. Is there anyone in here? Just explain what you had to do for your test for those that don't know. Obviously, you had to do a paper test first to see that he was safe to handle pesticides and chemicals. And then today they were using fake ones, so like water, and he was using this little Kubota.
Yeah. So literally,
let's turn that way so the sun's not.
yeah.
So what was the hardest bit of the test?
Probably doing all your maths equations, working out your volume, working out your area that you're going to spray, and yeah, it's pretty much all right. Like.
So everyone in the UK that puts sort of what we call plant protection products, pesticides and things like that, herbicides, fungicides, onto growing crops of corn that will be sold to the general public, have to have a spray test to do it. So Rob's just done his now, and Andrew's doing his, so we've got our fingers crossed for Andrew as well. Look at all them jugs. So what you also have to do is you have to make sure you're putting the right rate on. So you'll obviously measure the chemical into the sprayer, work out the volume of the sprayer, work out the volume of the area of the field you're doing, and then you've just got to make sure then that you put the right amount of chemical on the field. And that's what all the tests and examinations are about, to make sure that works, and also that you understand how a sprayer works. Now I know this sprayer is a little bit different to the Bateman, but it's the same sort of principle. You're putting a liquid in water, diluting it, and then applying it to the crop. This Bateman's actually a lot easier to drive because we can just tell it the rate. We can say we want 100 litres of water to the acre, and the sprayer computer will set it all up completely. These sort of smaller things, you've got to make sure you've got the right water pressure, you've got to make sure you've got the right forward speed, and then it'll work it all out on the right nozzle, whereas the Bateman can kind of do it all on its own. Another day, another fly tip. Council just looking through for addresses. There's loads of addresses where it's come from. It's obviously some sort of house clearance. Rob's passed his test, so his first job is to put the Bateman back in the shed because it's been parked outside because we've been moving beans around. So hopefully he doesn't swing round and hit anything, because it is a lot bigger than the Kubota he's just been driving. Just in the shed, about to do the birthday bumper. Happy birthday, Charlotte. She's on at the moment because it's her birthday today. And it's now snowing. It's actually snowing. Now, I never expected that. I thought I was going to go and spray some corn for Bill. And he's like, oh no, I think the weather's going to be bad. And look, it is. Flood's still there as well. So obviously at the moment it's all kicking off in the Ukraine. No doubt many of you have seen that on the news today. So I've been glued to the futures grain markets. Anyway, I thought I'd done well. I sold some for 248 for May. Anyway, then 10 minutes later it's up to 260, and then now it's back down again. So I kind of missed the sweet spot for today, but I think we're in for a roller coaster ride. I think the UK is going to actually be short a week come June, July. And then obviously the whole fertilizer situation has just gone a completely new dynamic now with basically a war only, 1,000 miles away pretty much. So it's sad that we only make money when something like this happens. But last year's crop should have returned a profit because the fertilizer for that was cheap. But now the focus is on next year's crop. So I've been selling some stuff forwards now, which will be from harvest 2022. So November price at the moment, I think it's about 220, 230, which should have a profit in it from what I've paid for this year's current fertilizer. The problem is now the stuff that we're going to drill in September that will be harvested in 2023 is what we can sell that for. So it's going to be a wild time. And are we going to get the inputs? You would like to think that the fertilizer obviously is going to be expensive and might be short, but you also think that there might not be a lot of inputs going into the Ukraine and Russia. So your plant protection products that are sort of like made in Europe rather than made on the east might might come down in price, or at least stay similar, because there's suddenly a market dried up that won't be there, because people will not want to be distributing stuff into a country that's at war. But then the same thing is, them two countries, Russia and the Ukraine, have still got to feed themselves as well. So it's going to be very interesting in the next few weeks of what actually happens out there. And it's just so sad. I mean, I think this morning, I mean, it's now like 11 o'clock. There's been 44 deaths so far, which is just, it's just tragic, isn't it? I mean, you know, why, you know, but this is what it is. But with Ukraine having such rich resources, whether it be soil, gas, oil, that is obviously why they're invading. They need it. I think they've blown up some of their infrastructure as well. So what will that affect? I mean, this time last year, I think we were unloading a boat of sugar beet pellets that had sailed from the Ukraine. I can't see anything coming out of the Ukraine, certainly for the next few weeks. Can you? Quickly going to do the birthday bumper. It's a short one today, which is great, because otherwise it takes up too long. So Adam Wake, Jack West, of course Charlotte's birthday as well, Chester's mum, Michelle Kettle, and Annie Henry. So happy birthday to everyone, especially Charlotte. I'm just going to nip down to the village hall because they're throwing out some old tables, and I've suddenly realised that the legs of them are very similar to the framework that's rusted on the 1690s at the bottom of the doors. So rather than going to the tip, I'm going to try and get a few tables and cut the steel out of them and see what it's like, because I'm sure it's the same diameter, and then also they might be handy for the workshop. Village hall update while I'm here. That window's gone in and it's been plastered round now, because that only used to be a little window, but now you can see right through. Them doors are the ones we put in last summer. That's all now been plastered round. And then these doors are, yeah, looked a bit tatty, so they're going to be painted over now. And then this is a separate room, so you can basically do two things at once then. You can have people in this room and then people in that room. So we're just doing an audit of the chairs. Going to get some new chairs, I think. And then got new tables that stack and take up less room. Got shutters on the front now, and then there's the old sign, and we know someone's going to make us a new sign, if he's watching. Being a bit of a hoarder, I think these tables are too good to cut up to fix the door on the 1690. I think we're going to put them in the loft for when we need them. Just been having our dinner. Andrew's done his test as well, so he's passed, so well done to him. Also, if you're ever thinking of doing your spray test, do it at One Ash Training, because they have the best food ever. Anyway, we've just had a McDonald's to celebrate, and we've just been watching Twitter as what's unfolding in the Ukraine, and it's just so sad. There's pictures of buildings blowing up, tanks blowing up, cars blowing up, people with blood down. It's just not nice at all. And I think today's one of them days where you know where you were, and you'll always remember where you were when it happened. I mean, when's it going to stop? Where's it going? But yeah, no doubt by the end of this video tonight, things would have changed a lot more again. But you know, I've just seen a helicopter flying over an urban area, dropping bombs. It's just nuts. It's just so sad as well. All for the resources. You know, Ukraine is full of resources, mainly the breadbasket of Europe, but also it's got coal, it's got gas, it's got lithium, apparently everything, and it's just, that's probably what it's all about. I've lost my hat. I'm in my hood. I just done an interview with the Times about the whole fertilizer, fuel price, grain price situation. So I think that's something that's going to be on Saturday. But I mean, it's Thursday. The world could change a hell of a lot between now and Saturday. So interested to see what I've said today, how things have changed by Saturday. The 1690 is running. They're going to back it in the workshop now, and we might look at taking the cab off it. I don't know where anyone's been watching the news, but obviously they're all on about it in Parliament, and what's nice to see that the whole Parliament is united in the fact that they need to try and stop this war as fast as possible, and some of the sanctions that they've put on Russia. It's just so sad, because the Ukrainian people and the Russian people must be so confused, because they're getting just all this information from everywhere. They've got Putin telling them one thing, and then they've got the West telling them something else. And there was a guy on there before with his little boy and his wife trying to evacuate Kiev. I was there less than 2 years ago. It's just so sad that this is happening, and I don't know what to say. It's just terrible. But you can't buy fertilizer at the moment. I mean, I can only really talk about what's going on in my world, and you know, we can't plan our business for next year because of all this, and that's Putin's fault, to be fair. So what an idiot. Anyway, I won't say too much in case he's got some secret agents watching this channel. But thanks everyone for watching. What is going to be a day that might change the world forever. I hope it doesn't, and it might be a storm in a teacup by next week, but maybe not. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm at
I'm just at the inn at Whitewell, looking out the window because it's Charlotte's birthday. So I'll see you tomorrow.